I am not here to educate anyone. Let's just be very clear on this. I am here to show you all the mistakes I'm making, and so that I can look back and learn from them. And then also just to share my own completely uneducated experience to tell you guys what I'm doing, what I have like read from the internets and applied to my life, and how it has panned out. So that is the extent of the information I'm putting out into the universe, but I do a ton of reading and consumption of information from various accredited sources, and then I will cross check them and fact check them. And my methodology is to just take the common denominators of what all of these industry professionals, nutritionists, coaches, trainers, athletes, other people like me, just people doing it on their own, what they all did and what seems to be the common conservative approach. So with that as a preface, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Megan, and I'm documenting now my second year into a fitness journey that I'm doing. So last year, as you all know, I did my fat loss journey, but this year I have a whole different slew of plans. So I wanted to, in particular, document weekly this reverse diet I'm doing, because it's the first time I've ever done a reverse diet, and I'm doing it completely unsupervised. So it would probably be beneficial to log what worked and didn't work, so that in retrospect I can learn from the mistakes I'm about to make my life much easier down the road as I do more reverse diets. So really quick, this year I plan to do, this is like basically my year in a nutshell. I'm going to do a 17-week reverse diet, followed by a 12-week cut, followed by a 9.5 to 12-week reverse diet, followed by a little bit of just plain old-fashioned maintaining, and then followed by a lean bulk, which I plan to do through the winter of this year into the spring of next year before I do another cut. So the hope is that in these first 17 weeks, I can recover my metabolism from having dieted for the past 16 weeks, right, at the end of 2020. Get my caloric level up, get my hormones functioning, get myself nice and strong and steady, and then do another fat loss for 3 months to try to eliminate some more of the body fat that I have, reverse out of that again, get my metabolism going again, hold steady through the harvest, because I live on a farm and we've got a lot of work to do here around end of summer, early fall. And then go into a muscle building phase, which I'm terrified about. But if other women have gone before me and done it successfully, I know I can. So I'm pumped and I'm terrified and I don't know what I'm doing, which is why I'm here. A reverse diet is basically just reversing you out of a diet. And in a nutshell, if you're in a diet, depending on like how low you slashed your calories or how long you were in a diet or how long you have been just like compulsively yo-yo dieting, it really all affects your metabolism in a lot of different ways. But essentially, your metabolism is a bank account that does not want to be writing checks with funds it doesn't have. So if this was the amount of calories that were required to maintain your weight, and you drop them down to here to lose weight, your metabolism over time is slowly going to bridge that gap, because it does not want to be under this much stress of like, all of this energy is being required of me and this is all I'm getting back in return. That's scary. So think of it like economically. If all of a sudden you have a ton of bills to pay, you're like fun money, like shopping and going out and eating, like that is going to go down, because it's scary to be in a big economic deficit. It's scary for your body to be in an energy deficit. It just wants to live, okay? So after a diet, your metabolism is probably about here. So if you were to jump back to your old maintenance level of calories, you're going to gain a crap ton of fat, okay? Because right now your metabolism is running at this. So the idea of a reverse diet is to just slowly and methodically add in calories each week incrementally, so that ideally your metabolism catches up, right? Acknowledges there's more food, starts utilizing that food, and you're able to minimize the amount of fat you gain as you get yourself back up to a more appropriate metabolic rate for your body. It also has to do with recovering your hormones, because when you're in a prolonged state of dieting and whatever, like your hormones, it just messes up your body, right? Your body like needs certain things and food, and it's just stressful to be in a caloric deficit. So this is called the diet after the diet, because even though my diet has ended, I am tracking even harder now, and I'm being even more intentional now with my food intake than I even was when I was in my actual diet. So I ended my diet last year at what I thought was 1,680 calories. I think I was wrong. And the reason I say that is because at the end of each day, I generally had a couple hundred calories allowance that I saved up so that at night when the kids were in bed and I was done doing yoga, I could make like, just a snack, a bowl of yogurt or whatever, a cup of tea, and I let myself play with that amount of calories. And I generalized in my head based on what I knew about portions and everything like that, that I was more or less eating what I had left over. But this is my first week of reverse dieting. I started on Monday, January 4th. Today is Sunday, January 10th. All I did just this week, was I added 20 calories. So I brought myself up from what I thought was my 1,680 up to an even 1,700. And as you guys can see over here, my weight loss has completely flatlined this week. And having only added 20 calories to my diet, it shouldn't have taken me from a steady decrease in weight to a flat line. So what this says to me is that my actual maintenance calories are probably right now about 1,700 calories, and that I was in a deeper caloric deficit than I actually thought I was at the end of last month. Another thing I am doing this month is that I am pre-tracking my calories. So I never did this last month. Last month, like I said, I just sort of like left myself a little bit of an allowance, and then I never tracked that allowance. I just let myself eat intuitively. Whereas this go around, every night I am logging in MyFitnessPal what I'm going to eat the next day, so that I make sure I hit my calories and I hit my macros. And then like today, I just eat what's on my list, and I make sure I eat everything down to the gram and I don't have to think about it. It's terribly convenient, and it also eliminates my ability to think I'm intuitively eating, but then actually end up being underfed. So that's definitely something I'm going to be doing going forward, is just pre-tracking. It's a little daunting because I thought I would have at least a few weeks time before I found my maintenance, like where I was metabolically adjusted to. But I found it this week, which means I have now 16 weeks ahead of me of essentially being in a lean bulk, because every week that I add on calories, if 1,700 is about my maintenance, every week that I add on calories, I'm going to be putting myself into a surplus. So it's a long time to be forcefully putting myself into a surplus, and it's probably going to mean that I'm going to gain more weight than I would like, but again, it is what it is. I have long-term goals, and this is just what you need to do. So you can't be afraid of it. I weigh myself daily. My scale is Bluetooth, so I open up my app, I step on the scale, I look up, and in my periphery, I can see when my scale is flashing and my app on my phone is flashing, so I know that my weight has been communicated, and then I step off the scale and I immediately close my app and I don't look at them. I don't like looking at my weight weekly. I prefer only to weigh myself monthly, if that, because I'm prone to obsessing. But I need this data. I need to see how my body is reacting to the increased food and if it's adapting and everything like that. So I just don't look at it. And then at the end of each week, every Sunday, I take my daily weigh-ins and I average them out. This upcoming week, I have decided I'm going to bump my calories up by 50, and I'm just going to weigh myself daily, and next Sunday we'll see what happens. I hope that next Sunday I will have the cojones to increase my calories by 100 and just rip the Band-Aid off. Just get me up to 1,850. I don't care if I have to sit there for 2 or 3 weeks to adjust to it, but I think it would be good to get myself above 1800 because I feel like having a maintenance calorie level of 1700 calories is really low for me. I have had an excellent week, you guys. My mood has been so good. I have so much energy. I feel very upbeat and positive and motivated, and I just feel really good. Also, I have been tracking my menstrual cycle much more closely. I started taking OPKs, which are ovulation predictor test strips, and basically that just tells you when your body is trying to ovulate. And then I've also been taking my basal body temperature. The short and sweet of that is that you can see, if you were to chart your temperatures every morning, you can see when you ovulated because progesterone causes a very obvious increase in your basal body temperature. So I haven't seen that spike yet, but yesterday I got my first positive OPK of my cycle. It's cycle day 11. That's a very normal time for me to be getting a positive OPK. So assuming that I ovulate today and I see it on my chart tomorrow morning, I'm back on track with my menstrual cycle. I have no idea what caused my menstrual cycle to be so late last month, but it was scary. I will not lie. I am going to continue to lift 5 days a week in the gym. I feel very strong and motivated in my workouts. I feel much better than I did last month. Again, probably because I had myself in a deeper caloric deficit than I thought last month. I've got 16 weeks ahead of me where I'm going to be in some degree of a caloric surplus. So I'm going to put all those extra calories to good use and just lift and try to maybe get a little bit of muscle gain out of the surplus. Make the most of it. So next week, I'm going to come back. I'm going to talk about my weight gain, if I have had any, talk about my calorie plan, and then, okay, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm out of here, but I'll see you guys next week, okay? Bye.